Hi everyone, hello and welcome to this reading. This will be a general collective reading, so it may or may not resonate for you. And I ask as always that you please trust your own intuition and use your discernment with regards to the messages that come out here today. So today I will be using the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud, followed by some tarot. So let's see what the fairies have for us today. Whoop, that's too many cards. We'll take this one. Unity, the number one. Okay, let's get a couple more. We have honesty. Number 40. One more. The Singer of the Chalice. Bottom of the deck we have Solace. Okay. So with the Solace card at the bottom of the deck, this is a very energizing, revitalizing energy, okay? So this is about something coming into being, okay? It's something taking place, something happening, and it's down to our own efforts and also the help that we are receiving from the universe, from the angels, from whoever you work with, okay? So very positive energy with Solace coming out here. And recent readings was about, you know, making things happen. So this is the energy now that someone's moving into. You're taking those steps, you're making those moves little by little, day by day, okay? And it's being noticed, okay? The Unity card here, number one, it speaks about the coming together with others, but also the coming together within the self, okay? So reconciliation, cooperation, reconciliation within yourself, okay? So any inner conflicts that you're having within yourself, whether that's feelings of shame, feelings of doubt, feelings of lack, whatever that is, you know, it all starts within the self, okay? So if you're finding that there's a lot of conflict in your outer world, turn inwards, okay? And take a look at yourself, okay? Identify your triggers and what they are and what they symbolize, what they mean, okay? Also with Unity card, it's about remembering that, you know, we are all on this collective plane one, okay? We all come from the same place. There's another quote that I've seen on YouTube. I don't know who said it, but it is that we're all just walking each other home, okay? So we're all souls here trying to seek enlightenment, trying to you know, reach the higher consciousness. We forget it, you know, in our human form, but essentially at our core, that is what we are, okay? So there's a need for compassion here and grace towards the self and to others, okay? Honesty, this one's a tough one, okay? Because obviously it speaks about honesty, about true honesty, not brutal honesty, which is a little bit unhealthy, okay? But being clear, being open, being honest, not you know, tiptoeing around other people, but not bulldozing through other people, just being clear, okay? And there was something about making sure that all verbal and written agreements are, you know, clear and concise on both parts, okay? That's not for everyone, that'll just be for somebody, okay? So like just looking at this card here, this particular fairy, like he's just looking at you like straight on, dead in the face. And there's something about just being willing to be open, to be honest. There's a sense of bravery that comes with being completely honest with people, okay? So loving honesty. Acknowledging that, you know, other people's feelings aren't your responsibility, but you can still be honest in a loving way, in a compassionate way, okay? And there's another bit here about, you know, this isn't about other people, this is about you, okay? How you show up in the world, how you show up to your loved ones, right? The Singer of the Chalice, this is a very beautiful energy, it's very positive energy. It's again going back to that energy of oneness and of unity. Okay, it's a card of trust and joy, patience, creativity, hope, and miracles. It's a very powerful energy that someone is moving into here. There's not a lot to say about it, to be quite honest. But this will only be for a few, because this is big stuff. Okay, this is someone who's actively showing up for themselves in the world and making big changes. Okay, but there's something to go back to this unity card about. You know, I could be speaking to someone who has gotten comfortable in their own space. You know, they feel safe, they don't feel triggered, they don't feel, you know, annoyed by other people because they just kind of do their own thing. And that's great. But there is a need for unity with others in some way, shape, or form in order to make your dreams a reality, okay? And this Solace card, this is a card of action, okay? This is masculine energy. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles coming out here. So this is equal give and take. All right. And there's something here about collaboration, cooperation, okay? Giving to those less fortunate in some way, but not to your own detriment, okay? Being there for others, showing up for others, but again, not to your own detriment. It can be difficult when you're leaving behind this people-pleasing energy to find a way to move through life without, you know, sacrificing your boundaries, okay? So this is something that requires time and patience and mindfulness on your part, okay? But there is a need for balance. Someone here could be trying to do things all on their own. But this is a dual universe or a dual realm, and one aspect can't be balanced without the other, okay? Does that make sense? So yes, it's safe and it's comfortable to move through life on your own. Maybe it's just you and your pets and that feels good for you, okay? But there is this next stage for you requires a collaboration of some description. Okay? And if you're not willing to give, you can't expect others to be willing to give. Okay? So there's something here. What are you willing to the word sacrifice is coming to mind, but what are you willing to compromise on is more what I'm getting at. You know, someone here, you want to move in a particular direction. It requires the assistance of another or others. But maybe, you know, maybe it requires a friend who you haven't spoken to in quite some time. So there's something about equal give and take here. And I feel like I could be speaking to someone who's always like been an overgiver. And so you're struggling with finding that balance between giving too much and then not giving anything. Okay, we have the King of Swords falling atop of honesty. Like the King of Swords is like king of honesty. Like there's no fluffiness with him. He's just straight to the point. This is the sword of truth. Okay, the sword of clarity. So he doesn't beat around the bush when it comes to you know, things that matter to him. He doesn't get involved in like drama or anything that doesn't necessarily affect him. But he's clear. He's honest, but not in a brutal sense. Okay, he stands by what he says. He does what he says. Okay, so there's something here about, you know, as I say often, walking your talk. Okay, so there's something about you're sitting and waiting for things to happen, but you're not speaking up, and things aren't going to happen if people don't know about them. Does that make sense? So you want to move in a particular direction and you're annoyed that it's not taking shape, but or you're annoyed that there's no help available to you, or someone doesn't want to help, but you may have kind of alluded to something. Okay, so there's something here about you may have suggested or mentioned in kind of a roundabout way that you need something from someone or something like that, but the other party involved or the other parties involved, you weren't clear enough. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, there's a big like exclamation point about honesty here and openness and meaning what you say, saying what you mean. Page of Pentacles. So this is a new beginning. Okay, got the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Wands. So the path that you want to move in, the direction you want to move in, it requires other people. It requires the input, the knowledge, the advice. Take that with a pinch of salt, of other people. And there's something here that's like someone's annoyed here, or you're irritated that someone doesn't know that you need, or it could be like someone doesn't know that you need something from them, or that you need them to be more X, Y, and Z. And maybe you've hinted at it, but you haven't been clear about it. okay? So for example, if someone keeps crossing your boundaries, but you haven't actually said to them, hey, it bothers me when you do this, you know, it's not being clear. You know, maybe you just like get distant, or you you know, like avoid or something like that. There's a need to vocalize, okay? And not in a harsh way, not in a brutal way, with compassion, with love, okay? And I feel like once you take that first kind of step in that direction, like once you speak your truth that first time, like each time after that, it will get easier and easier. For someone who has never really had boundaries, or has always kind of, you know, put others first and making other people comfortable, it can be very, very nerve-wracking to speak up and say, hey, I don't like this, or hey, it really makes me feel a certain way when you behave this way or when you speak like this. And the way that this other person responds is not your problem. It's not your responsibility, okay? But what you have to do is to be clear, to be honest, to be open. Speak your truth, and how other people react to it is, it's their story, it's their issues, it's their trauma. The people that are meant for you will stick around, okay? But there's something about integrity and just being true to yourself, and the right people will stay, and the people that aren't meant for you anymore, who've maybe served their purpose in your life, they will move on, okay? And to go back to the Seven of Swords, okay, you are hindering yourself in some way. Someone here expects honesty from others without actually being honest themselves, okay? And maybe you feel like you're being honest, but are you really? Okay, are you being as honest as you possibly could be? Not sugarcoating your truth, okay? So I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. I hope that this helps someone. Please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.